Today on Sporting Top 10, we'll be counting on the top 10 sleepers in fantasy football for the 2017 NFL season. Number 10 is Brandon Marshall from the New York Giants. Now, Brandon Marshall has had a great career with the Chicago Bears and these past couple with the New York Jets, but he always seems to get overlooked. But now that he's moving across the hall to a loaded offense with wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. and new draftee tight end Evan Ingram, he could have big games, but there's always the risk of Eli throwing interceptions, which means less time of possession for the Giants, but I think he could be a solid flex for you. Number 9 is Robert Kelly from the Washington Redskins. Now, with big-name quarterback Kirk Cousins, who was a gunslinger, throwing just under 5,000 yards passing last year, the defenses are going to respect that, and they're going to focus more on the receivers, which opens the field up more for their potential starting running back, Robert Kelly. I think he could be off your bench this year and maybe a starter in the next couple years. Number 8 is Jared Goff from the Los Angeles Rams. Now, many people are labeling Jared Goff as a bust, as he only started a few games last year, and they didn't even let him reach his full potential, playing him conservatively. But I think Goff has a lot of potential, and especially with new additions such as Robert Woods and Sammy Watkins, both from the Buffalo Bills, he could potentially be your backup QB in an 8-man to 10-man league. But if you're looking for a 20-man league, I wouldn't hesitate as putting Goff as your starter this year. Number 7 is Jordan Matthews from the Buffalo Bills. Now, Jordan Matthews last year with the Eagles was solid, and now he's going to post even better numbers as he's the Bills' number 1 target, and he's a tall receiver, so he's a big red zone target, which means more points for you in the end zone. And he has an okay offense around him with great running back with Sean McCoy and average quarterback Tyrod Taylor. He could be your number 3 wide receiver or your starter flex for the season. Number 6 is Joe Mixon from the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, Joe Mixon in college posted great stats at Oklahoma University, and he has great potential for years to come in the NFL, but off the field seemed to be his problem. But if he could get that straightened out, I think Joe Mixon could be your starting running back in fantasy for years to come. Number 5 is Deshaun Jackson from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Deshaun Jackson was newly acquired by the Buccaneers this year, and with playmakers all around him, like quarterback Jameis Winston now entering his prime with receiver Mike Evans, it could open up the field for Deshaun Jackson, and he always has big playability. We all know about that. And like I said, he's always a deep threat, which means more points potentially for you. Number 4 is Darren McFadden from the Dallas Cowboys. Now, with Ezekiel Elliott being suspended for the first 6 games by the NFL, Darren McFadden will be able to put up the max amount of points he can with Ezekiel Elliott out. He still has game, though, from his days with the Oakland Raiders. He could post numbers still when Zeke comes back as a reliable second option for that Cowboys offense. For the first 6 weeks, he could be your number 2 running back. After that, I was using him as a bench option. Be cautious about him. Number 3 is Kareem Hunt from the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I put Kareem Hunt on this list mainly because Spencer Ware was just announced that he will be out for the season with a knee injury, and that means Kareem Hunt will get the bulk of the carries, the rookie, and he's a solid runner and receiving threat, as Alex Smith likes to utilize his receivers in the backfield, and Hunt could be your number 2 running back this year. Number 2 is Kelvin Benjamin from the Carolina Panthers. Now, Kelvin Benjamin is Cam Newton's top wide receiver, but many doubt him because of injury. He was out last year, the whole year with the knee injury. But Cam Newton excels when Kelvin Benjamin is on the field. They both need each other because Kelvin Benjamin is a receiving threat. He's tall with a big catch radius, which means he's a reliable end zone target for Cam, and he's definitely a starter worthy on your team. Number 1 is Carson Wentz from the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Carson Wentz is entering his 2nd year, and I believe he's going to improve as he came out of North Dakota State last year, and the Eagles drafted him with the number 2 pick. They traded up to get him. I believe he improves in his 2nd year because of solid receivers and tight ends all around him, like tight end Zach Ertz and receivers like new addition Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar, and Torrey Smith. And I believe the Eagles could potentially be a dark horse to be in the playoffs and maybe pull an upset. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Sporting Top 10.